Hello everyone, this is Neha Tulsyan from Crescent Creation. Welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. This is week 2 and video 2 for my Christmas card series, and today I have a technically one layer card for you. I say technically because the images are glued on to my card base and not stamped directly. So technically it's not, but it is because it's completely flat with no dimensions, so perfect for mailing to your friends and family this Christmas. So let's get started. I'm starting with a white top folding note card, and I'm gonna do my stenciling to create my background scene directly on my card base. Here I have my makeout station out, and I'm using one of the stencils, Slimline stencils from My Favorite Things, called the Drifts and Hills to create my snowy hills here. I'm using the magnet from the makeout station to hold my stencil and card base in place, and I'm using my mini blending tool here and inking the hill. So I'm using a lavender color. It's the mild lavender distress ink that I'm using here and inking my snowy hill. You can use any light blue color too to create the hill. I just like the contrast because I was planning to do my sky in aqua color, so I didn't want to have a lot of blue going on my card. So I thought the mild lavender color gave a good contrast to the sky and looked beautiful at the same time. Since I'm using distress inks, they are not as forgiving as distress oxide, so you can see I'm going very slow and light-handed when I'm trying to ink the hills. It's just that if you go a little heavy-handed at the very first time, you will get those foam marks, and they are hard to blend once you get them. So just go slow, light-handed, and you will get a very smooth ink blending. You can also choose to use your blending brushes. I just recently stopped using them completely because it's hard to clean the blending brushes in between projects, and I don't have a whole lot of blending brushes. I just have 1 or 2 brushes per color family. So I saw that I was getting a lot of contamination, and I was not getting the true colors because I was using one brush for multiple colors, and that way I was not getting the true colors. There was a lot of residual ink already in the brush. So once I'm done ink blending, I'm gonna go ahead and use the same stencil to mask my hills so that I can go ahead and ink the sky. These stencils don't work as a perfect mask, but I made it work here. I am gonna link Lawn Fawn stencils, which are a little expensive than these ones, but then they work as a mask too when you want to do backgrounds like this. Here I'm just using a little bit of purple tape to mask off the back side of the card, and I just used it on my hands first so that I can remove the stick, so that when I peel it off I don't just tear my whole card base. For my sky, I'm using some distress oxide inks in color Uncharted Mariner, Peacock Feathers, and Salvaged Patina. I started with my darkest color, that's Uncharted Mariner, and went on the very top of my card base, and then I came back with Peacock Feathers and added that just after the Uncharted Mariner and tried to blend both the colors together. Since I'm using distress oxide inks here, I am being a little liberal while ink blending, so I'm not being very careful or very light-handed here. I'm going pretty heavy-handed because I know that these colors are very forgiving. Lastly, here I'm coming in with Salvaged Patina and just trying to blend the Peacock Feathers and Salvaged Patina together. So I'm adding a good amount of Salvaged Patina onto my background, and then here you can see I have brought in Peacock Feathers and I'm trying to blend both the colors. So I'm going to go back and forth between the colors to get a good blend here. Since distress oxide inks sit on top of each other instead of just blending, it's very easy to layer them and keep layering them and get a beautiful background out of these colors. So if you ever had issues with distress inks, try distress oxide inks. They are very forgiving and they just blend like butter, seriously. So here my background is almost done, and now I'm gonna go ahead and spritz this with my distress sprayer. It's just water, nothing else, and I'm gonna blot it dry using a paper towel. I just love the effect that you get after this. The texture is just beautiful. So I would have left this here. I just love the look of this background and the sky. But since we're creating a Christmas card and I already have a lot of snowy hills at the background, I cannot not add snow to this sky. So here I'm just taking out some Copic white ink on my acrylic block. I added a little bit of water to dilute it just a tiny bit, and I'm gonna use my fan brush and splatter the whole sky using this white ink. I will be pretty generous with the splattering here because I wanted a very snowy sky here. So yeah, I'll be pretty generous, and I'm gonna spray it or splatter it all over my sky. Just love the beautiful fine splattering that you get when you use the fan brush. It's just amazing. Here is the reveal. I'm just gonna pull my stencil and the tape out and look at that gorgeous background. It's so beautiful. I just love this. Usually I create more bluer backgrounds for my Christmas cards, but I think this teal aquaish sky just took my heart away. It just is so beautiful. So here I have my images already stamped on a piece of white cardstock. All the images are from the Tree-mendous Friends stamp set from My Favorite Things. I'm using my new Distress watercolor pencils to color these images. I am not using them as regular watercolor pencils, but instead I'm just using them as color pencils here, and I'm using two colors to color my tree here. I'm using Rustic Wilderness and Shabby Shutter pencils here. I will be showing what colors I used towards the end of the coloring session. So about these pencils, they are not like regular color pencils, of course, because they are watercolor pencils, right? But I am using them or trying to use them as regular color pencils, and I must say that I love them. They are super pigmented, first of all, which is just that is one thing that I just love about color pencils. And secondly, if you are looking for some fun coloring sessions and not worried about colors going a little bit out of the line, or having a perfect blending or everything, just want to have fun, then these pencils are for you. If you're looking for not very expensive watercolor pencils that you can also use as fun coloring pencils, then these pencils are for you. Yes, I really love them. This is my second time using them. I have done a video which I have not shown to you guys. I mean, I have just filmed the video, have not edited it yet. So I have this video where I show you what all you can do with this pencil, which hopefully I will be editing soon and having it out for you soon. I don't know when, but yeah, just letting you know that I have done things with this pencil. Wow, that sounds weird. So yes, I have used this pencil in the right way, like with watercolors, as watercolor pencil, with water brush, with painting brushes. So yeah, I have used them on different cardstocks, and let me tell you that I love them. They are as expected. They are super pigmented and they're amazing, and I just love that you can have fun with these pencils with or without the water, and they are not so expensive. Did I say that already? I did have a little bit of color coming out, or I actually mistakenly colored one of the area which I was not supposed to in red. So I used my sand eraser and it just worked perfectly with these pencils. So just letting you know. So we're almost done here. If you want, you can pause the video here to take a screenshot of all the colors I used. And here I am with the magic of YouTube. I have all my images die cut, which I used my scan and cut to do that. And I have all my images laid out where I want them to be. And I'm just gonna go ahead and glue them using some liquid glue. So as I told you before, there are no dimensions on this card. If you want, you can add few of the images using some foam tape, but I wanted to keep it flat because last year I had to struggle to mail my cards. I went to the post office. I had put 2 stamps on each of my envelopes for each of my cards, but they just refused to mail them. They thought it was too bulky. Rather, almost all my cards were too bulky, and because of that I had to pay extra postage to mail my cards. Yes, yeah. So this year I have decided not to go through that again. So yes, that's why I'm creating more flat cards. So if you're like me, if you struggle mailing your cards or have to pay extra postage, then this card design is for you. Just adding some finishing touches to my card here. I used the Stardust pen to add a little bit of glitter to the star that my pup is holding there. And now I'm adding some white highlights to all my images using my white gel pen, which is, by the way, giving me a lot of trouble. So I had to use it on my fingertips to just activate it. It just helps. I think the heat from our hand just helps the ink to flow better, and it just works there. So tip of the week, use your white gel pen on your fingertips if they're not working for you. So that's my card for this week for my Christmas card series. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and be ready to meet me again next week here, a little earlier next week, for my next video in the series. I've linked all the products in the description box below, including my first video in the series, just in case you missed it. Until next time, happy crafting!